Broke our transfer record to sign my favourite player on Football Manager. Then, within a few weeks, everything started going wrong. Just in time for this season's European campaign. Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. And last time out, we broke our transfer record to bring in my favourite player on Football Manager to the club. We're heading to this one excited to see how our new man, Can Uzun, starts life in an Aberdeen jersey. We've also changed up the tactics again, and with games against Villarreal and Chelsea coming up, they'll certainly be getting put to the test. The transfer window is still open, so there is an opportunity to strengthen the team further, but after the signing of Can Uzun, our finances took a pretty big hit. So, how will we start our European journey this season? Let's get into it and find out. And our first game of the day is going to be welcoming Kilmarnock to Pittodrie in this one. And certainly not the ideal start we were looking for with these new tactics as we go 1-0 down from a goal from Kevin McGinley, giving Killy a 1-goal lead. And then just before half-time, Sato getting free with a lovely ball through from Eric Adam, levelling the game up. And that is how it finished. A pretty poor ball draw in that one, finishing 1-1. And then this certainly wasn't what we wanted, as Martin Verblad has picked up an injury and he's going to be out for a few weeks alongside Andreas Hernandez, who's also going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. And with the transfer window still being open, we are still getting offers for our players, and this is certainly not what we wanted to see, as Pafundi expressing his desire to join Atalanta and would require a lot of convincing to stay at the club. So, yeah, definitely don't need that, as he has certainly been one of our best players since we've signed him. We did actually pay 16.75 million for him, so this offer of 14 or 15 million, whatever it is, felt pretty low, and he's certainly scored a lot of goals for us. So, yeah, this FM world certainly does not value us at all, as if this was in England, he would be worth about 40-50 million guaranteed. Back to the football, though, and we go to Celtic Park for this one, an away trip in the league, and yeah, not how you would like to start the game, as we pick up an injury early on to our new signing, Can Uzun, who ends up having to get substituted. Hopefully that's not a bad one. And then in the 39th minute, Gilberto Moura going close there. You might have noticed Jamie Gittins out on the left for Celtic, a new signing. Somebody actually looked at myself, and maybe if I'd have signed him, he wouldn't have scored against us, as he put Celtic 1-0 up in this one. And a Fergie time special, 92nd minute, we get an equaliser. Pafundi doesn't get the goal, but it was him that's caused it, and we do go on to draw 1-1 for the second game in a row. So that Can Uzun injury isn't too bad. He's going to be out for 8 days to 2 weeks, so nothing too serious, so he will be back before you know it. And Bayern Munich, not content with offering for Sato and Urena, they now had come in for Eric Adam as well, our 21-year-old Swedish winger, and they offered, I think it was 16 million, was it there? And we paid 4.8 million. So I was looking at this thinking, dollar signs, profit. We could potentially go out and sign someone. He's not getting the most game time because we've got really good players in those wide areas. And now that we don't use wing backs, Michael Funk is playing out on that left-hand side a lot more than he would have been previously. So I did go ahead and accept that offer. And after we lost Milovanovic in the last episode, I did go ahead and buy another centre-back for 6 million. Tarifi, I'm going to go with, because that first name looks terrifying. But he looks very good. 6'7", absolute unit. 18 jumping reach and 16 heading. I'm expecting this guy to score 20 goals a season from our corners. So with this formation, especially needing 3 centre-backs, he should get a lot of game time. But he's not going to be starting this one, as we welcome Dundee United to Pittodrie. And the first chance inside the opening 10 minutes, the corner coming out to Moise Keane. He dribbles in, shoots, the ball ends up to Ryan Tukisato, and he scores, putting us 1 goal in front. But unfortunately, it wasn't for too long, as 12 minutes later, the cross coming in, a lovely header there from Owen Sturton to level it up and make it 1-1. And then 41st minute, Moise Keane with a great finish, puts it across the goal, giving us the lead just heading into half-time. Into the second half, we get another corner. It gets cleared to Semi. He pulls it back to Pafundi, who gives it back to Semi, and a lovely finish at the near post to give us a 3-1 lead. And then in the last minutes, our young star Marinowicz with a lovely ball to Pafundi and a great finish as we go on to win the game 4-1. And after all that talk about selling Eric Adam, unfortunately, it was cancelled as the paperwork wasn't done in time. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, because obviously we'd accepted it on our end. And Pafundi on form like he pretty much has been since we signed him. Another injury, as Sato is going to be out for a few weeks. So, yeah, the injuries are starting to pile up at the moment. Next up is a trip to Tynecastle as we go away to play Hearts. And we get off to a great start in this one in the opening 4 minutes with a lovely finish from Pafundi into the bottom right-hand corner, getting onto a Moise Kean pass. And then a great ball out wide to Jay Robinson and his cross finding Pafundi for his second goal of the game as we go 2-0 up. Jay Robinson again just before half-time, pulling it into the middle again, and an own goal denying Pafundi of his hat-trick in that first half. And then right at the depth, Hearts do pull one back after this header from a corner to make it 3-1. But the scoreline finishes there, and Pafundi unfortunately doesn't get his hat-trick. And just before we head into our European games, we did get our odds for the Champions League, and we've been given 600 to 1. So I think that's an improvement on last year's 1,000 to 1, but they still do not rate us at all, which is quite funny considering we've got to the round of 16 for the last 2 years running. Here we go as we play Villarreal. I think actually, did we play them last year and we lost 2-1? So we were looking to get a bit of a revenge in this one, and what a start as Ansu Fati puts us 1-0 up in the opening 11 minutes. And with not too much else happening in the first half, the next chance you're seeing is going to be Villarreal levelling the game up in the 54th. And the momentum certainly was in Villarreal's favour as Reyes going through and shooting, but a good save from Charles to keep the scoreline at 1-1. And then a chance for ourselves as Pafundi with a lovely finish past the goalkeeper to make it 2-1. But unfortunately not, as he was offside when Levi passed the ball. So the goal did get ruled out and we do draw the game 1-1. Next up, we play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And we were looking to get our first win in the European campaign this season. But Chelsea had other ideas with Enzo Fernandez putting them 1-0 up inside 12 minutes. And then 8 minutes later, they nearly scored again. Saber Karabashvili, everybody's favourite left-back on this game, having his header saved by Piers Charles. Another chance there for Enzo Fernandez, but a good block, putting it out for a corner. And then we finally see some action for ourselves as Gomez rattles the crossbar with a lovely curling effort. But 8 minutes later, the other side of half-time, Kubo blasts it in the near post to give Chelsea a 2-goal lead. And then just 5 minutes later, Leonard Cole cutting in on his left foot and a deflected effort going past the goalkeeper to give Chelsea a 3-0 lead. We hit the woodwork for a second time with Funk's effort there, before Enzo Fernandez goes close again for Chelsea, shooting just over. And this one just about sums up our luck on this day as Can Uzun plays it out wide to Funk, and his cross somehow not ending up in the back of the net. It just wasn't going to be our day. And in the 88th minute, this is proven again as Michael Funk showing his pace. And again, the goalkeeper makes the save from Semi, and we do go on to lose the game 3-0. We quickly got a chance to get back to winning ways, though, as we go away to St Mirren in the League Cup. And it took us quite a while to get going in this one, as in the 57th minute, Jay Robinson playing on the left this time, getting onto a Can Uzun assist and giving us a 1-goal lead, before St Mirren getting back with themselves with Cameron, and he shoots past the goalkeeper to make it 1-1. 81st minute, though, Eric Adam pulling it into the middle, and somehow Marinowitz doesn't score, but Semi does put it in the back of the net to give us a 2-1 lead and get us back to winning ways. So yeah, certainly not an ideal start to our games in Europe, but we are through to the next round of the League Cup again. And we'll maybe look to win that again for, I think that'll be like the 4th time or something since we started this save. Sato has resumed full training, so we are looking forward to having him back in the team, as he certainly started the season very well. And like last year, Levi won the FIFA Best Under-21 Men's Player. Well, this year, Minor Urena has won it. So 2 years in a row, our players have won it. Very nice to see them being recognised. Little congratulations to him, and some congratulations to us as Pafundi has decided he's happy to stay at the club as Atalanta have dropped their interest. And you might remember last year how I think it was Al Wassel then also went through and offered for loads of our players. Well, this year they came back with an offer for Carlos Alexander, and we reject that, continue the day forward, and then they come straight back in with an offer for Pafundi. So they must have a lighter transfer window than the rest of us, because they seem to be offering for our players at odd times. But either way, they did get rejected. And like I mentioned about how well Pafundi has done for us this season, he has gone on to win Player of the Month with his 3 goals and 1 assist in 2 matches. Eric Adam is also happy to still stay at the club after Bayern Munich have now dropped their interest in signing him. I would imagine that is because the transfer window has closed, and that is why there is no more interest in him. So these are the deals that we've made this season, with João Gomez coming in with Diakate for nothing, and Can Uzun 35 million. I think it was actually 42 in total with the add-ons, and yeah, just the 6 million for Sarifi. But you can also see we have made 4 million profit this season with the sales of Hajek, Vitek, Milibanovic, and Morgan Gibbs-White. And I did make a tactical tweak for this game against Livingston as we go away for this one. And yeah, we'd been doing okay recently, but those two games in Europe certainly weren't great. And Sato getting us in front of this one on his return from injury, making it 1-0. And then Pafundi's corner headed home by Mino Urena as he celebrates that FIFA Men's Under-21 Best Player Award. Just before half-time, Piers Charles absolutely launches this ball forward and everybody misses it. Pafundi gets onto the end of it and goes all the way through, putting it past the goalkeeper to make it 3-0. And then 2 minutes later, Piers Charles launches another one forward. Can Uzun with a flick on, and Semi is through on goal, and what a finish that is from him as we go in at half-time 4-0 up. Not too much else happening in the second half, but then this switch out to the left with Montgomery. His first-time ball is cleared, and then Strop, his effort, going all the way through to Kalen Vickers, and Livingston do pull one back, but we do go on to win the game 4-1. So Pafundi is the man on form yet again. Urena needs a rest, which is fine because we've got all the centre-backs in the world at the moment. And yeah, Pafundi certainly stepped up so far this season, and he's certainly been our shining light in this bit of a struggle. So I did say we made some tweaks to the formation. We've dropped one of the strikers back into a cam position, and this actually should suit Pafundi even better, as this is actually his preferred position, playing in that role behind the striker. So between him and Can Uzun in those two number 10 roles, I expect us to be absolutely cooking this season now. So we'll see how we get on in the next episode. So once again, not the greatest start in Europe, which is actually becoming a common theme right now. Especially that game against Chelsea, that was certainly a slap back to reality. Domestically, we've already drawn 3 games, so that certainly does suggest a slight issue with the tactics, even if we are still unbeaten. Hopefully the tactical tweaks we made before that Livingston game will help us in the season going forward, and especially the next round of Champions League fixtures, as it certainly started off great with that 4-0 victory. But that is going to do it for this one, and if you've enjoyed it, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.